Hi guys, now I'm going to show you my pork belly method on the smoke and grill. I'll get it all set up and show you how I do it. So far we've got pork belly here. This is just standard frozen pork belly. I've defrosted it. I've sliced the top, just little lines, salt and oil on the top, and then underneath I've used some of this rum and Q rib rocker, one of my favourites. Beautiful taste, suits pork belly really good. Definitely a really good combo. Beautiful. Now, so on the bottom I've done little slices, just little lines, just little grooves. That's just to get a bit more rub in there. Don't have to do that, but I like to do it just for a bit more flavour. Gets into those little cracks and, you know, more bark, more surface area. So that's all I do for the preparation of the pork belly. You can fridge it overnight with some salt. You know, you keep the skin exposed and put it in the fridge. That will dry out the skin more. I have had a lot of success with this thing, pulling it straight out of the packet. But if you really want to guarantee it, just take it out of the packet the night before, leave it in the fridge to dry out, and then salt and oil it just before you cook it. But that's where we're at the moment. So we'll get it all set up on the Weber, and I'll show you how we do that. The charcoals are all lit up now and nice and hot, so we'll get this onto the Weber. I'll show you my process for that. Great. So I'm going to use the charcoal baskets for this method. I'm going to dump half my charcoal chimney into these charcoal baskets. Using heat beads today, one of my favourites. Works with everything else, but I personally just love heat beads. I think it works really well. So I've poured half that chimney into these charcoal baskets. I'm going to put a couple of pieces of wood because we love smoke. Put those in. Put your grill on. So these baskets are by the handles, and that's the same way the smoking grill will go. So the smoking grill will go the same direction. The heat from those baskets are going to come up, hit the bottom, and circulate around under there. So we'll put that on in a second. First we'll put the pork belly on. So simply just chuck the pork belly on. Place that there. Just move that charcoal basket over a bit. Put it too close. Just getting the basket away from being directly underneath the pork belly itself. So now the smoking grill goes over the top of your pork belly, directly over your charcoal basket. Line it up, and now we'll pour the charcoal on top. I find it's handy to use a pair of tongs just to try and guide it out nicely. It's pretty hot. I use big pieces for up there because it's easier to manoeuvre around. So we'll get that on top like that. Rip roaring. So the big pieces are on the top there now. It's all over the top of the pork belly. It's running beautifully. We're going to put the lid on and we'll check it in 20 minutes to half an hour and see the progress. The handle will get hot. That's okay. It's supposed to. You may need a cloth to lift the lid. I keep the vents off to the side of the tray, not over the top. So that's just sitting to the side to get airflow, and I have my vents completely open, top and bottom. So yeah, cheers guys, we'll check this in 20 minutes. So we're at the half an hour point. I'll show you how it's going. It's crackled a lot faster than normal today. Not a problem, because I've adjusted the height and I've taken the height up to the third turn. Come along, check that out. Already crackled it up, so just means that it, you know, the fridging and the salting had dried it out a little bit faster this time, but that's okay. We can remove charcoal to cool it down. You can increase the height. You can play around with it in all that way. So it's only been half an hour. The meat won't be cooked yet, so I've taken some charcoal off, increased the height to the top setting, put it back on, and we'll go until at least an hour. I like to go an hour and a half just to let all that meat really melt, it's really tender and juicy in your mouth. But yeah, it's working well. Probably better than I expected. Cheers, guys. We're just over an hour 10 minutes. Usually would take it off a little bit later, but it's been nice and hot today, and due to the skin drying out a bit better, it's kind of all worked out a little bit faster than normal, but that's okay. I find every pork belly has a slightly different skin. So sometimes I get crackle in an hour, sometimes I get it in half an hour. It all changes. So it is what it is, but the fact is we've got the griller, so we can change the height. You keep an eye on it. That's why I always check it after 25 minutes, half an hour kind of stage, so I can see how it's getting on. But this one crackled up in about 30-35 minutes. So that's pretty cool. So we're all done now. We'll whip it off. Apologies for the darkness. It's not summer anymore, so dinner's in the dark. It's pretty standard practice now. So I'll pull the griller off. There we go. One beautiful pork belly. We've got crackle. I'll get my Inkbird temp probe. And I usually aim for around 180-ish. Well, there you go. 185. So that's enough to really render that fat and just make it almost melt in your mouth, but not. So it's going to be excellent. We'll go and get it cut now and see what it's like. So the belly is done. Time to give it a cut and see how tender she is. So we'll flip it over. I always cut upside down. I find it is much easier to do it that way. Ooh, she smells so good. Let's see what she's like. Oh, that is tender. If you go too much further than that, you'll have a mushy pork belly. Beautiful little taste, but quite hard to cut. But that is so tender and soft. Listen to that crackle. Look at that. Just beautiful. Give that crackle a taste and a taste. That is excellent. So juicy. Look how juicy it is. So moist. Falls apart. Don't even need a sharp knife to cut it. But there you go. That is pork crackle, pork belly, and the smoke and grill barbecue. Cheers, guys.